What's up, Internet? My name is Michael Cook, this is Blue Giant Media, and we're here to connect through gaming. Today we're going to take a look at the second printing of Carpe Diem by Stefan Feld and published by Ravensburger. This printing is supposed to fix some of the color matching issues. There were some browns and yellows that were really similar, and this is supposed to be a little bit better. So let's take a look inside, let's see how it's packaged, how the art differs, and overall what you're going to get for your money. Okay, so Carpe Diem is a tile laying kind of building up a cityscape, somewhat similar, and the reason why I'm excited for this game is because it's somewhat similar to the game Castles of Burgundy, if you're familiar with that. Looks like we got 3 rule books. One is in English, one is in Italian, one is in German. So we'll take a quick look at this. Paper is relatively thin, but it's glossy. You can hear that some of these are stuck together a little bit. Alright, so I know one of the complaints before is that this brown and this yellow were too similar. They do look a little bit more distinct now. I think that last time, actually this one looks like this looks like it's in French. Yes, it is. I wonder if there is an English one actually. Interesting. Okay, this is the English one. I'm just looking at it upside down. So we got, this one is French and German and English. You can see some of the print. Maybe they rushed it out of, from the printer into the box or something, or closed it too soon. So some of these pages stuck together here. But as I was saying, in the previous printing, these two colors were very, very similar and relatively difficult to tell apart. Here you can see, I think that they look fine to me. I'm not super familiar with the game from the first printing, because while very excited for this game because of my love for Castles of Burgundy, I held off until this one was printed. So these punch out very nicely. Yeah, no issues punching that out at all. None of these, I don't feel like any of these things are going to hang in there. They're punching out really nicely. They are decent thickness. The art on them, like a lot of Ravensburger stuff, it's not super high quality, but this looks relatively nice. Some of these houses, they do have a little bit of some depth to them. They look pretty nice, I think. Not too bland. Or even this field looks like it's got some flowers in it. I'll punch out the rest of these in a second. You can see here is the yellow and the brown. I think they're pretty distinct now. Alright, so then there's the board. Now, while this looks really interesting, I know I'm probably going to be one who falls into the camp. I've heard other people talk about that this was pretty much pointless, having to go zigzag back and forth. It could have just been in a circle. I think it is pointless, but at the same time, it just makes it a little bit less bland, instead of just going around a circle to kind of be able to look across. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not quite sure what I feel about it yet. It says Aliyah million times. Publishing company. All right, got some cards here. Let's go ahead and open these up. See what kind of quality the cards are. They are pretty thin. They are really, really thin. And that is terrible. It's just really, really bad. So, definitely disappointed with that card quality. For some reason, immediately reminded me of the card quality in the game Goa. Those little cards, only these are thinner. This one comes out of the package with a little bit of a chipping on it, but they're really, really thin, and wow, it's hard to describe how thin these feel. They don't feel much thicker than the paper in the rule book. Okay, so these are going to be a whole bunch of different ways that you can score points for goals. They're going to be laid out. You're going to be putting your token between the two in an attempt to score both of them at the end of the game. They'll be laid out in a grid. So these are a whole bunch of different ways that you can score for endgame goals and things like that. This looks like it's just worth points, I'm assuming. Anyway, let's see what else we've got in the box. This is, I believe, these are borders to go around your little area. Kind of gives you a bit of direction from the beginning of the game. So you're going to have, these don't punch out quite as nicely as the tiles do. Yeah, these hold on definitely a lot more. Got to be a little bit more careful punching these ones out. And they're also not quite as thick as the tiles are. I don't know how well you can see that. The tiles look like they're almost twice as thick as these player boards. But anyway, these are punching out a lot easier. But these are going to be set around your board, giving you just some goals to go for throughout the game. And so they're not double-sided, but still nice. Gives you a little bit of variety game to game. Let me see if that punching that one out was a bit of a fluke. Let's see, this one. No, it's you just need to make sure that you are careful with where you apply the force. I don't want to end up breaking that. Now, let's see what else we have to punch out here. These coins, kind of in between. The coins, whatever these brown things are, whether they're bread or pit of dirt, I'm not sure what, but they punch out a lot nicer than those coins. The coins were okay. These are punching out nicely. And what else do we have here? Some more tiles, some more of these borders. Alright, looks like everything else is the same. So I'll go ahead and cut away, punch everything out, bag it up, and I can see how it makes sense, how well it's all thought out for you, and then we'll see how well we can fit it back in the box in some form of logical fashion. Alright, so I got everything bagged up. I had a couple extra bags. Normally I separate all of the player pieces into their own bag, but it just seemed like such overkill with such giant bags, and because there's only like 5 pieces, there's just the player, I guess 6. There's your pawn and 5 discs. So it wasn't really worth it for me to separate them all out. So we just kept them all in there with the first player token there. And then still a bit overkill, but I got each of these in a bag. These little wooden resources are pretty nice. There's some they call them herbs, grapes, fish, and little chickens. So those are pretty nice. I do like those. And I've got right here some sampling of the yellow and brown buildings. So I think that those are pretty easy to tell apart, but what I do still have a problem with is there's a light green and a dark green, and they're not that different. Looks like maybe it's a little bit easier to tell on the camera than it is in person, but they're not different enough, and I don't understand why they needed to be similar at all. Because what they're basically, looks like what they're used for is the light green ones are going to be out here on offer, and the ones with the dark green back are going to be down here available to get through different actions. So the backs, they could have been drastically different and it wouldn't have made any difference. I don't know why they didn't change that. Like, they went and changed they had the chance to change the graphic design of the game, to change the colors, and they just they didn't really, in my opinion. And I think that that was kind of stupid. So I mean, you can tell them apart, but it takes a couple seconds. And I might end up splitting this into two bags. I would have rather had like one really big bag that's a little bit more durable, and then a bunch of smaller ones so that you don't have the overkill like this. I might end up grabbing some of my bags. I've got just leftover bags that have been from other games. I'll probably end up using those in this game. But I can just tell that putting the game away next time I play, you know, each time that you play, separating out the dark green from the light green is going to be unnecessarily tedious. So there is still definitely that. Also, why did they make the rule book bigger than the box? It doesn't fit in there perfectly flat. The rule book is bigger than the box. That's why. That's stupid. And then the board is not the same size as the box. I don't know why you would do that either. And it's not like these fit next to it. They don't. So another head scratcher. I don't understand what the logic was, if any at all. Okay, we'll go ahead and put these in there. Put the rest of these in. Throw the cards in. Let's see, I just got them all in one bag. The rest of this, I don't think that we're going to be hurting for space at all in this game. But anyway, that is the second printing of Carpe Diem with supposedly better graphic design. Looks like maybe they fixed one thing, completely glossed over another, or a few others. And that's what's inside the box of Carpe Diem by Stefan Feld, published by Ravensburger. If you want to know more about Carpe Diem, take a look in the description section and you'll see a setup and playthrough and an overall review of the game when I get those posted. And you'll also find a link there to macronovagames.com where you can buy Carpe Diem and a whole bunch of other great games. Until next time, I want to thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe if you like what you see, and as always, have a wonderful day.